I'm here at the VFW in Ford City today with Paul Mango. And Mr. Mango, thank you for spending this time with us.
Thank you for having me, David. Really appreciate you coming out.
Not far from Armstrong County. You were just south of Butler County, actually, and your home's been there for many, many years.
Yeah, I've been 30 years in Pine Township. This is where we raised our family. We have 5 daughters. They all went to the Pine Richland School District, and it was a great decision that my wife and I made a long time ago to bring our family and raise our family here in Western Pennsylvania.
I want to make sure we came down to talk to Mr. Mango today because in this great run that you're doing, you know, there's a lot of voices out there. And what voices? What is your voice that you're trying to get out to the people?
It's very simple. We need to restore the dream of America to the people of Pennsylvania by bringing our jobs and our children back home. That's the whole theme of my campaign. I've been out talking to thousands of Pennsylvanians, and that's what they're yearning for. They want to be inspired again. They want to be able to achieve the dream of America, and they've been denied that over the last couple of decades.
We know that there's been a lot of hype over the tax cut bill.
Yeah.
And it appears that a lot of different businesses are responding. Walmart has increased their wage, increased their benefit package. What do you see happening as we get down the line the next couple of years?
Yeah, well, first of all, anytime we can lower taxes, I think that's a great thing. And I'm just delighted that these companies are responding by giving a lot of this back to their employees. But let me tell you what I'm concerned about. Now that the federal corporate tax rate is lower, the corporate tax rate in Pennsylvania, which is effectively the highest in the country, we're going to stick out like a sore thumb. We add another 10%. That's what our corporate tax rate is. So I'm concerned that America is going to do a lot better under President Trump's tax reform, but Pennsylvania may not because our corporate state tax rate is so high.
Whenever Governor Wolf has had the budget come before him, one of the things we've noticed is he doesn't sign it.
Right.
He just kind of like lets it go limp.
Right.
And that's been a concern. In fact, even for some Democrats, they've looked at that and they've said they don't like it. They want him taking a stand, and instead he's just kind of letting it go. How do you view that?
Well, I've told people, I think, and this is a true statement, there are over 1,000 years of political experience in Harrisburg. There are not 2 days of executive leadership. He's the chief executive of the Commonwealth. I was on Fox News, nationally broadcast this summer, and they were asking me about this, and I said, it's as if he's been in the witness protection program. This guy is nowhere to be found on the budget, on the economy, on opioid overdose, where we're losing 100 Pennsylvanians a week. I don't know what he's doing, but I know what he's not doing, and he's not leading the good people of Pennsylvania.
You're watching David and Friends right here on all the social media outlets that we have, and of course at our website at WTYMradio.com. I'm talking with Paul Mango, and we're talking about all these different things that affect you and me right here in Armstrong County that is happening in Pennsylvania. Mr. Mango, you know, as you come into this, I mean, you were a business person, so you know you're walking in with this business experience. You can see what has been the tide for the last many years. How are you going to make a difference?
Well, first of all, I started my professional career as a military officer, and I went to West Point, and I learned about leadership. As I mentioned a little while ago, that's what's lacking in Harrisburg, is leadership. And my business experience was very much working with large multi-billion-dollar organizations which had lost their way, couldn't serve their customers effectively, were too culturally restricted to make the change, even if they knew what they needed to do. And boy, that sounds a lot like Harrisburg to me. So I think the leadership training I've had, the relevant business experience I've had, the commitment I'm bringing to this, and lastly, I'm the only candidate in this race who has developed and published a plan for the future of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I have never been associated with an organization that has high aspirations, that doesn't define where it wants to wind up 5 years from now, 10 years from now. We've already done that, and we think we owe that to the people of Pennsylvania to get them to understand what we stand for before they cast the vote. So that's very important.
In boroughs and townships, we call that a comprehensive plan. Well, so you basically have already designed something that you feel is the track that this state should run on.
Well, it's not that I feel. I've spoke first with thousands and thousands of Pennsylvanians. I spent 6 months putting over 70,000 miles on my car talking to the good people of Pennsylvania, and they told me they have 5 priorities. Bring our jobs and our children back home. Let's have an economy that works. Fix education. It's failing our kids. Healthcare premiums have doubled in the last 3 years. Let's make it affordable again. Drug overdose epidemic is killing our neighbors and some of our loved ones. And let's bring fiscal solvency back to Harrisburg. Those are the only 5 things that really matter to Pennsylvanians. And I kind of half in jest talk about one of my opponents who's trying to push for getting wine in the grocery store. I'm delighted you can buy wine in the grocery store. That is not fundamentally changing or improving the lives of Pennsylvanians who want jobs, education, healthcare, safety, and fiscal solvency.
Obamacare, promised to lower the premiums,
Yeah.
and of course we saw exactly the opposite. And of course now there's a lot of speculation of what's going to happen
Yeah.
over the next couple of
Yeah.
years. So when it talks about health care in Pennsylvania, how are you going to attack that?
Well, you got to put the consumer back in the center of the healthcare system and get the government out of the center. I spent 25 years in healthcare, so I understand this pretty deeply. And under Governor Wolf, in the last 3 years, the premiums in the individual market have doubled. Deductibles have gone up substantially, and choice has gone down. That's what Obamacare delivered to us. And get this, the part that I get most steamed about is the following. 224,000 Pennsylvanians, because they could not afford Obamacare, last year paid a penalty for not being able to afford health care that was supposed to be affordable. That was the whole point of the act. So Obamacare has been a disaster. It's failed. Washington's not going to solve this problem for us. We need to solve this problem for ourselves. And there are opportunities for us to take charge of our healthcare system. Our governor has not requested those from the federal government. And design a system that meets the needs of Pennsylvanians. It'll be cheaper, faster, better. We have the providers and the health insurers in the state to do that. And together we'll get that done.
You're here today at the VFW in Ford City in Pattonville, and you're talking to veterans today.
Yes.
What is your message to the veteran?
Well, it's very simple. The NFL last week took an AMVETS ad, a full-page ad, and the AMVETS is a veteran service organization that serves principally Vietnam veterans. And they wanted a full-page ad in the Super Bowl brochure that was very simple, a picture of the American flag that said, "Please stand." And the NFL denied them the opportunity to put that ad in the book. And you know what the NFL said? Well, we do not support political statements in the NFL. What have they been doing for 2 years with all these guys kneeling during the national anthem? If those aren't political statements, I don't know what is. So we have a bunch of great veterans out here, and we're going to get them to sign a petition that we're going to send to New York, the headquarters of the NFL, before the Super Bowl, saying we protest the fact that they are not concerned about our veterans, and they're concerned about a bunch of other causes that are much less worthy than our veterans.
We applaud that.
That's why we're here.
We applaud that. In fact, we covered the NFL clothing and memorabilia burning that they had here last October. So that was a big thing in this VFW.
Some real leadership right here in this VFW. So that's one of the reasons we chose it.
I want to thank you for taking a few minutes with us, and I'll give you just a minute to kind of look at the camera and tell them whatever you want to tell them.
Yeah, I think it's very simple. I started this way by saying my mission, I'm a former military officer, my mission right now is to ensure we restore the dream of America to the people of Pennsylvania, to bring our jobs and our children back home. That's what my agenda is all about. And I ask you to go to our website, www.mangoforpa.com. Look us up. Follow us on Facebook. Get out on May 15th. May 15th, pull the lever for Paul Mango, and Pennsylvania will be better off. Thank you very much.